Heyo.
Hey, everybody. We're finally live. We had to get a few things worked out here. Band cranking. Players are stinking up the joint again on the road. And blown out. 3 minutes ago against Memphis, down 18, Rye. Looks like another defeat.
I'm just glad I decided to walk Buster and get the exercise instead of watching the game. Because, well, I mean, I watched some of the game, but there you go, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, it's
there we go. Yeah. Anyway, this is a brutal. We were talking about maybe doing like an in-game ending, thinking it would be a fun Memphis, Warriors heated game back and forth, and instead, just disheartening, really.
Yeah, and they doing the same thing as they do constantly. They get down by 15, 20. They're trailed by 20 at the end of one. You got to use all your energy to get back in the game. They get within 4 in the first half, and then they go back down by 18 again. And then they get down in the third quarter. They get it all the way to 5.
Oh, they just said it doesn't sound like your mic is on.
Oh, my mic's not on. Okay, there we go. Hey, helps if the mic's on. Yeah, I was just saying, Warriors, you can't, especially on the road, you can't get so far back that you expend all your energy trying to get back in the game. And then when Memphis then goes on another run, you're done. And this is a habit of the Warriors. I don't understand why they just get down so early. It's like their head's not in the game and they think they can just get back in it. Easier done at home court than on the road.
Yeah, it's really weird, especially when Steph's not there. And I don't know, like it's almost like, you have those people in your lives. Maybe it's even been you. I know it's certainly been me a few times where it's like you kind of have these not horrible, but like somewhat self-destructive patterns that just continue. And you kind of like, for me, I tend to be late to things and I keep. And it's like it's stupid, but it's like I know I should need to like leave earlier and all this kind of stuff, but I just can't help it. They have like a self-destructive streak on the road right now. It's like they're starting to almost believe it. Like I don't really know.
What are they, like 7-25, 26 now? That's just unbelievable. And everybody's discounting them. The national media, they're all saying they're done. There's no chance they have a shot at the title. I'm hoping that lights a fire under these guys and they just turn it up several notches in the playoffs. But it's disappointing to watch constantly. They're like 2 completely different teams. And my thought is that when they get on the road in the playoffs is that they'll turn up the intensity, and if they steal one on the road, then they have the home court advantage. And that's how you're going to have to win series this year. It doesn't look like the way things are going, they're going to be a top 4 seed.
And it was setting up like Memphis has been botching it. There was room for them to pass Phoenix. I mean, Durant's out now.
Yeah, now they're after winning 5 in a row at home. This is their 3rd loss
Curry.
in a row.
And 3rd in a row without Curry.
Well, with Curry.
Or with Curry, I mean.
Yeah,
and
third
none
in a
of
row
them
with Curry. They were 5-0, and then Curry comes back and they're 0-3.
What the hell?
I don't know, and he's playing well, but they had an unfortunate injury tonight. Jonathan Kuminga in warm-ups, working on some moves to the hoop, stepped on, looked like one of the coach's foots who was guarding him, and he looked like a pretty badly sprained ankle. Hopefully it's the low. It looked like the low kind, and it's hopefully just, a couple days and the swelling goes down and he can get back out there. But darn, they definitely need Jonathan Kuminga.
Oh, as we're watching, we're a little bit behind because we're doing the streaming thing, but they just showed Clay like shaking his head, like so pissed on the bench, and Steph just looked like he he just looked like just kind of defeated, but also really motivated, but also like, what the hell do I have to do? I mean, Clay, for as good as Clay was, and he was heroic, you know, these honestly, the past like month and a half, especially without Curry. And today it was like bungle after bungle. And it was, you know, dropping. And Draymond, we counted. There was a sequence where he like had a wide open teardrop if he wanted it. He was right next to the basket. Then he tried to still lob it to Looney, who was covered by two guys. Then next play, they get the ball and just going up the court, he tries to pass it to Curry and just passes it way over Curry's head, turnover. And then the next play, he tried to like, you know, get some points back versus Dylan Brooks and tried to yam the thing and just got hung on the rim. So
yeah,
I don't know how bad that like hand is feeling or how that affects things, but
yeah, it's so it's a double-digit loss. Memphis is going to just run this thing out. Warriors will go 0-3 on the trip. Are they back home next? They have I think they've got Milwaukee and Phoenix, and their next three are tough. But here, and by the way, we're going to be joined by Marty Laurie here very shortly. 8:00 will be 7:00 in California, 8:00 here in Arizona. The great Marty Laurie will join us, and we'll get his views on the San Francisco Giants and what he's been seeing. We've been down with Marty, talking to him, on a daily basis. It's been great to get his insight into the club this year, and he'll give us his view here shortly. So, and we'll go about 30 minutes with Marty. And then what's going to happen is we're going to go about 30 minutes with Marty, and then we'll do some wrap up. We'll play some interviews we got today with Lamont Wade. That was a good one.
Yes, we got some really good ones today. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, we got Lamont Wade, we got Elliot Ramos, and we got Sean Mania. So we'll play a couple of those, and then we're going to join Larry on his channel at 8:00 California time, 9:00 here in the desert.
Yes.
So we'll go over to the Krug show. So Larry's down here. We got a chance to see him today. So we got a jam-packed couple of hours here. And that Warriors schedule, yes, they after tonight.
Horrifying. Look at that. If they don't win one of these next two games, home Milwaukee, home Phoenix, and then it's road Clippers, road Hawks, road Memphis, road Houston, road Dallas.
Yeah.
That's a lot of road games for a team struggling like that.
They got 1, 2, 3, 4 road
5
games. Is it? Let's see.
It's 5.
No,
Clippers, Hawks, Memphis,
1,
Houston,
2, 3,
Dallas.
4. Oh, at Dallas. Yeah, another 5-game road trip. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Warriors could, if they keep playing like this on the road, they could push themselves out of a playoff spot.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. That's crazy what's going on with this team. That's not an easy schedule.
Let's hit the chat here for a second.
Yeah.
All right, we got Epic from Carlo P. Romo, Coach and Rye with a side of Marty. That is what it is. Does MF ask, how does jelly stuff look?
Looks good.
Yeah, aside from the first pitch of the game?
First pitch of the game to Christian Yelich was a Oppo home run to left field. But other than that, Jelly is having a really good spring. He's throwing the ball about 95 with his fastball, and which is an uptick from last year.
Yeah, he was like 93.
Yeah, 92, 93. And, it's funny because he's so tall. It doesn't look like it's coming in that fast to me. You don't hear maybe it's because the ball is it's like almost halfway between the mound and when you really, it seems like it's like, so it doesn't have that where you see 60, 55 feet of the ball flying.
Yeah.
It just looks like, but
well, because I mean, as a tall guy, I feel like you go up on the mound and like you're kind of expected to throw some heat. Randy Johnson kind of ruined it for everyone. He was so intimidating.
Yeah.
And, even Bumgarner, I mean, he just had a different kind of delivery, but I always was kind of like, man, that guy is 6'5", 245 pounds of muscle and country strength. And he really only throws 92, 93, but just the way he pitched just dictated that. So I'm excited for Jelly. Just, it's interesting, man. It's interesting to have a freaking 6'9" player on your baseball team.
Yeah.
And GBG says, is Krug going to be here? So we're going to be hopping on with him later. He, oh God, it's pretty funny. So I'm sure we'll talk about it on the show, but he's pulling off like I think it's like a combo, like work trip, get interviews / like spring break with his boys. So like, I mean, the guy's got juice. The guy got his son in as a cameraman, and then got his 13-year-old also a pass, and his 13-year-old just kind of chilled. But still, very impressive. Lair, the man has a lot of he's got a lot of juice. To Tyler Rogers, give Larry the stank eye. I saw that he interviewed one of the Rogers. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he told me, he said he ended up getting both of them because Taylor came over afterwards.
Tyler Bentley.
Yeah.
Late night was he was super cool. He immediately won me over. Who's that in the green room? It is the great Marty Laurie.
All right.
Hey,
guys
Marty,
doing?
Desert.
Yeah.
Doing well. So we don't really have like a set of prepared questions for you. We just love to hear your thoughts on the 2023 Giants, the season coming up. Any good tidbits you can lay out there for the fans, and they'll probably ask questions too.
Well, you guys, it's spring training, and I tell Dan this every day. It means nothing. It doesn't mean anything whether they win or lose. It's just getting in shape and getting out of here without any injuries. That is the key part. And so far, other than Austin Slater, there really haven't been any guys who are really banged up. There's Cole Waits has a little bit of an issue going on, but there aren't too many other people who have stuff going on. I think they've done well. I really do. We're getting to see the key parts of the team. Look, defense is still a mystery.
Yeah.
Second base is not, look, we don't have a Gold Glover at second base. There's no question about it. First base is a major work in progress. Lamont Wade has looked good down here. J.D. Davis played today and, muffed a couple of balls that should have been turned that you won't see in the box score, but, missed double plays. Third base, VR is doing his best. He's got great power. He really does. On a team that needs some hitting, he's got some great power. Defense, not great range, but he's all right. Flores is Flores, and you just hope the years aren't catching up to him. And Crawford has looked terrific in the field. The bat I don't worry about. The bat is whatever it is. He's basically should be a 250, 260 hitter at best and getting some, key hits the other way. But his arm has been fabulous. This is a guy who usually doesn't play until June. His arm is always sore for the first couple of months. The guy from the first throw of spring training, he's thrown rockets, and he's showing the other guys how a pro plays. And I think he's really taken that on a lot. So talk about the infield. Conforto today hit another home run. He leads off. He told me today he likes leading off if that's what they want to do. He's got no problem doing it. So he looked good. Haniger, some issues in left field. He's not used to it for some reason. But the bat still plays a little bit down here, so that's been good. Yastrzemski, same thing. Just get in shape, and we'll see what he can give you. Ramos, still very much a work in progress. Piscotty looked all right. I think he's had some decent games. He's a good backup. If Slater can't go, he's a good right-handed backup. Ramos is another one. I'll try to talk to him before the weekend, see what's on his mind. Hasn't really distinguished himself down here. probably headed for AAA again. And the big question really is the catching. Bart has done well. He's thrown fairly well. He's hit the ball well. Perez looks his age, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, all right, he's a veteran. It's going to take some time to get himself in shape. He knows what he's doing. But, he didn't come close to a curveball today. Peralta just ate him up. Then the other kid ate him up after that. He didn't come close to hitting a breaking pitch today.
He did finally hit. He got
Sable,
a hold
of course. Dan, I'll say this before you put Sable in the Hall of Fame. Dan wants to put Sable in the Hall of Fame.
Marty, I'm right there with him because the guy gave us like 50 minutes on the crew on the.
He's a Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Fame broadcast. He's a Hall of Fame guest. He's the best in spring training. But, he's a work in progress on the catching side. And Dan wants to, make him the second string catcher, catching 3-4 days a week. And
Marty, have you heard the advanced stuff about his framing? He tried to sell. He tried to sell us a little, but you don't care.
Stop it. Come on. I'm seeing the guy down here. The ball pops out of his glove. He's a little rough behind the plate. We all know it. I don't care what it says about what he did in AAA and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter. But he's worth looking at because he can swing the bat from the left side. Wins, tries his best. The guy tries his best. He hustles. He does everything you'd ever want, except he's Austin Wins. That's when it's all said and done. That's who he is. And, you're not going to win a pennant with him as your guy. But you can carry him if everybody else played well. So all in all, you ask a big question. I gave you a big answer. Just get out of here without getting hurt and get in shape. And then let's see what happens. The first 2 months, I never worry about the record. 500, a little bit below 500, a little bit above 500. It doesn't matter. It's when we get into June and July, you know what you got. So if they can just survive those first couple of months, some good things have had to happen, that we don't know. Somebody's got to hit the ball. Jock's got to hit the ball to win some games. So it'll be fun the first couple of months. What do you guys see? I'll ask you that.
Well, the infield defense, as you mentioned, is a concern. Yeah. I think, the solid position, of course, is shortstop. VR looked good last night. He got a couple of hits, went, opposite field, home run. If his bat can come around and if he could give you some solid defense, I'm not talking Gold Glove, but if he could just be adequate at third and hit, it stretches the lineup.
Yep.
I do think one of the strengths that they have, I was thinking about it today as I watched, Jelly perform as a starting pitcher. When you add Junis, Harrison, and Jelly to the other 6, they've got 9 guys that could eat up innings over the course of the season, which is really could be a huge advantage over some of the other teams who lack starting pitching.
Could be. I wouldn't say too much about Harrison. I mean, he's a kid.
Right.
We know that he has very little strong command in the strike zone. He can throw strikes. That's not the issue, but it's throwing it where you want to throw it in a big count. So he's gotten roughed up down here, which is, who cares? But the stuff is there. It just has to be refined. And I'm glad when you considered him, you said over the course of the season. Because he's going to be in Sacramento for a while for him to get it together, which is fine. He's only 21 years old.
Right.
Hey, I've got kind of a question for both of you because I've been down here sporadically, but not nearly as much as you experts. So David VR, you brought up David VR. I totally agree. Like they need power. The guy smashed 1 million home runs in the minor leagues last year.
Yeah.
Do you think it was kind of just a fluke the way he just didn't really flash the power when he was up here?
He's got it, Ryan. If you watch him enough, he hits the ball. We saw it last night. He hit the home run. When the guy connects, it goes. He's got legitimate power. Now, can he put the bat on the ball? It's Vaughn Brown all over again. Vaughn Brown's 5 tools, but one of the tools he has to have is contact, and we haven't seen that yet. For VR, he's got to make consistent contact, but I will tell you this: I am firmly convinced the power is there. There's no question. He's got it.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I think third base is an interesting position for him because VR has options. They do have Davis that could play there. They have.
Come on. You want to put Davis, Dan, please.
No, I
You
don't.
wanna put
I'm
Davis
just.
in third?
I'd like to see VR be the starting third baseman. I'd like to see
He
them
has to be. He has to be.
see him not mess with him. And they talk about putting him at second. Just leave him at one position.
They don't need him at second. They
Yeah.
need him. They need him to play third and
Exactly.
leave him there, as you say. That's it. Forget about J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis, as long as he shows up with his bat, him and Jock, as long as they show up with their bats, that's all we need from them. That's it. VR
Yeah.
should play third. Now, he hasn't had a great spring, but he deserves the chance. Spring doesn't mean a gosh darn thing. Just get into the regular season. Let's see what you can do. He should be the third baseman.
Couple guys love to get your opinion on and who you think they may.
I've got opinions.
Yeah, I know you do, and I love it. I love it. So tell us about what you think about their middle infield backups in Brett Wisely, who they got from Tampa Bay, and Isan Diaz, who came over from Florida originally. But what's your thoughts on those two guys? And do you think one of them could make the opening day roster?
I think so. I think there's a good fight going on here. I think Ford Proctor is the outside of that because he can play second or short. They had him at second today for a while. So let's leave him out of the equation right now. But he's there. You can't forget about him. But Isan Diaz is a second baseman. Isan Diaz is a hitter. He's had 4 chances with organizations, hasn't connected yet. But he's only 26. He had good power at Sacramento. Probably is decent turning the double play. He's not a shortstop. They need somebody to back up Crawford because if you take Estrada off second to back up Crawford, you're really weakening the defense quite a bit. You need Estrada to stay at second. There's no shift. He's got to stay there. So you need a shortstop. Wisely is the only one who looks like he's got speed. He's stolen bases in the minor leagues. He's shown power down here. He's a grinder. He comes through the Tampa Bay organization, which is a decent fundamental organization, and he is the shortstop more than Diaz, and he can't play second. If I had to bet today on that position, I would say Wisely gets it, but anything can happen. They just don't have a great backup. I want to see a guy with the hands, with the glove, backing Crawford up. I don't care if the guy doesn't hit much, but you got to make we saw Crawford go in the hole. He goes up the middle. He catches pop-ups down the line. You got to be able to do that. You got to be that kind of shortstop. Arteaga is that kind of shortstop. He will be that, but he's a kid. He's in, at a low A last year.
Right, yeah.
So the backup thing is a good fight. But boy, I would love to see that really handsy guy at short backing Crawford up. We'll see. But if I had to bet, I'd say Wisely today has a little bit of an upper hand in it.
Okay, on the note of Wisely, you talked about him stealing some bags.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting thing for this year. Obviously, a lot's been made of the bigger bases and the pitch clock, and I don't know how that's going to affect things better or worse for base runners. But I personally want to see this team steal some bags. Part of it is I just miss that part of the sport. Mm-hmm. And, just the couple of guys we talked to this week, one of them, of course, the aforementioned Blake Sable, said, he actually is probably one of the faster guys on the team. And that in Pittsburgh, I guess because he was playing every day and he was playing catcher and then outfield, they told him, he said he was the one guy on the team where they said, do not steal bases. We would rather you jog like around the bases. Like we will get mad at you if you try to swipe bags. And he still swiped 10. So that's like, one guy. Elliot Ramos today was telling us actually he's excited to kind of show off that speed. He thinks it's like a little bit of an underrated part of his game. And then we went out and saw in the game, he swiped a couple bags. He almost swiped third.
Stole second, and then he attempted third 3 times. It looked like he had a great jump, and then all 3 times the ball was fouled off. So never really got a chance to see if he stole third. But a guy that you didn't mention, I don't think he's a candidate for the big league club, but Bryce Johnson, he laid a really nice bunt down today and then stole second, stole third, and scored on a sac fly by Michael Conforto. He's probably, though, their best defensive outfielder that they have, but I don't see any room for him on the roster because he's not a big he doesn't hit well enough probably to stay up on the big league club.
Well, and where I was coming home with that was just, who do you see as like guys that may be stealing bags this year? Do you think there's going to be an uptick compared to last
I think there will be. I talked to Slater today, and I'll have him on the pregame show probably Sunday. And we talked a lot. Look, if you look at Slater, he's stolen 44 out of 47 and something ridiculous in his career. And I said, you know something, you could be a 20-30 guy easy. And he sort of agreed with me on that. That's a guy who he's 30, and you hope the arm is okay. But if he does what he is capable of doing, he could steal 30 bags. And you know something? They're trying to get faster. Baseball's trying to get the stolen base back in the game. When you know someone's got to go, I'd almost rather watch that cat and mouse game, like Slater describes it, than see him hit a home run. I mean, the whole audience, the whole stand, everyone is sitting there knowing he's going, and you're waiting to see if he can make it on a stolen base. So I think they're going to try. Haniger runs a little bit. Wisely can run a little bit. Slater can run. Yastrzemski can run a little bit. Estrada clearly can steal 30 bags. You know, he can do it. Bart could give you 15. I'll bet you he could do that. But, you know, Bart moves pretty well.
Yeah, Bart moves pretty well for a big guy.
To answer your question, yes, I think there will be more stolen bases, and I think they're going to take advantage of the pitch clock. When a guy gets down to 1 or 2 seconds, that's going to give them that extra lead because they're not coming over, and there'll be a pattern. It's going to be fascinating to see how that plays into the game. Yeah, stolen bases are going to go up.
Good. What would you rather? I'm thinking they would put Haniger in right because of the stronger arm with Conforto coming off shoulder surgery and that big park in San Francisco and Triples Alley. Why you would put Conforto out there where Haniger's actually more used to right field anyway. I know they're both more right fielder, but
yeah,
it seems like Haniger's got the stronger arm, and that's where you need a stronger arm in right than you do left.
Let's have this discussion in 2 weeks. You got to see more because Conforto played the outfield for the first time today. So we watch every game. Let's watch what happens over the next couple of weeks to see if Haniger settles into left, if he's okay, and if Conforto can throw from right and play, you know, every other day and all that stuff. So, yeah, your point is well taken. It's true. And I say let's give that a couple of weeks down here before we decide. But they're going to play. Both of them have to play, and they have to be healthy. But that's one we'll decide in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and anybody out there who's listening, you got questions for Marty, just drop them in the comments.
And, we got a couple here. I'm admittedly, Marty, I'm not pre-reading these because I'm a little far away from the monitor. Drop Harrison's name from that. This is what Giants for Life says. He's 21, been saying he needs to build strength and develop still and not going to come up early like all the whack job fans think.
He's right. Who is that? What's his name?
His name is Giants for Life.
Giants for Life is exactly right. Exactly right. He needs time. Whack jobs. We don't say that, but he needs some time in Sacramento to get command of whatever the stuff is. Yeah, why not? Come on, the kid's 21. He's going to pitch in the big leagues. I'll guarantee you that. But they don't need him right now. They've got 8 other guys, as Dan pointed out, to give you the innings. They don't need Harrison. Let him sit in Sacramento.
I agree.
Make 25 starts and do well.
Do you think there's pressure for Farhan to put one of his guys that he drafted to make it to the big club, since other teams are drafting guys in drafts and from 2019, 2020?
He has no pressure. Yeah, he doesn't think like that. He could care less. If the guy's ready, if they think they could use him, they'll use him. The one who becomes interesting is Schmidt. If Schmidt starts off in Sacramento hitting 350 and he can play a little backup short and play third, Schmidt could force his way into this thing. You know, the key is when you go to AAA, you want to force the hand of the big league club to bring you up. You don't want to be in a position of hitting 240 and there's an injury and that they got to bring you up. That's the Bryce Johnson. That's kind of that story. You know, that gets into the big leagues when there's something wrong. But you want a guy that's banging on the door and knocking it down and demands to be brought up. And that's where Schmidt, I'm hoping, is that one guy this year that does that.
Yeah, we're hoping that too. And also would love to see Ramos. Talking to Ramos today, we asked him, about having a difficult year last year. He said a lot of it was just mental. And so if he seemed to be in a good frame of mind.
He said he stayed behind. He didn't want to play for Puerto Rico. Yeah. He stayed behind to grind because he kind of knew, he didn't have the best year last year. And he did also say
let's say Slater, God forbid Slater is not ready. It could be between Piscotty and Ramos for that spot. And Ramos has options. See, when it comes down to the end of spring training, the big thing is options. That may save Dan's guy, Sable. He doesn't have an option because he's got to go to waivers or be offered back to Cincinnati. But Ramos has options. Piscotty's on a minor league deal. And if you have options, usually at the end of spring training, they generally, if there's a question, they lean more towards optioning you back. So that may be in Ramos's future. But I wish the kid well. You hope he's tried hard and he's done everything the organization has asked. Let's see if he can perform. Give him a shot.
Yeah, Romo.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit that too.
Okay,
I'm gonna combine these two real quick and touch on either one or both of them. Mark Graves in the chat says, "Did you guys talk about Rodon being hurt before the season even starts?" And then Romo said, "Hey Marty, does Sable make the roster?"
And that's Romo is Eric from Beale. That's from who joins your show quite a bit, Eric.
Eric from Beale Air Force Base, of course.
Yeah, that's Romo. Yeah,
he's a 4-star general by now. He's been calling for so many years, Eric. Well, the first question is about Rodon. What can you say? I mean, my God, forearm. You know what the forearm means? You're getting in the flexor, and you know what that means. Boy, honestly, what can you say? You just hope that wasn't going to happen if the Giants signed him. And for the quality of the kid and what he brings to the game, you hope he's okay. But wow, how about that? That's baseball. That's baseball. Let me tell you. Does Sable make the roster? It's not impossible. Because we don't make those decisions. But in his favor, left-handed, hits with some power, and he's a Rule 5 guy. You got to keep him or give him back. So there's no options there. You got to run him through waivers. They may keep him for the first 3 weeks and then run him through waivers 3 weeks in when everyone's roster is set.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Nobody will pick him up. So that can happen. You keep the guy for 3 weeks. You put him on the disabled list. He's got a bad hamstring. You bring him back in May. Everyone's roster's set and everyone forgot about him. And now you pushed him through and you got him. So there, you got to watch the maneuvering with him. That's what you got to do.
Great call.
Yeah, I like that. That would be, I think they have enough options to kind of do that. What do you think I looked at their schedule, opening road trip, 6 games, but 2 days off in those.
Weather.
So do you think they may go 14 position players and 12 to start?
Who knows?
Because that's the way that I thought of. If they can carry, if they want to keep Sable, it's a way you could do that because you don't need that extra pitcher that first. And then, an injury pops up and then you move somebody else around. And
they generally like more pitching. That's generally been the way they've gone, is to get that extra pitcher. I don't know. We haven't, who knows what Taylor Rogers. Come on, I'm watching this guy pitch every day. This is not Kershaw. He's not going to come in throwing 95. He throws 91 or 2 if you're lucky. And Kapler says, don't worry, more is in there. Well, I'm waiting to see it. A lot of 77, 78, 77. So you don't know where he's at. And then, the bullpen guys, I don't know. I think you tend to protect the roster more than anything, as opposed to saying we need extra guys. Because with the days off, you're absolutely right. You have more room to maneuver on the pitching. You do. You protect the roster coming out of spring training so you don't lose people. You don't want to lose assets coming out of spring training. And we'll see where they are coming out. Look, they may make a trade. Maybe DeSclafani showed something. You'd like to see him in a major league game, before you take a chance on picking up 2 years at $24 million, which is left on his contract. But if he showed something, he is clearly someone who could be traded if he shows enough.
What do you think is their biggest need in the lineup? What position and what would you like to see him do if they were to make a move?
Catcher. I want a guy who, I watched Real Muto last night, and there was Will Smith. You want a guy who handles the pitching staff. He's in there every single day, 6 days a week. He's that backstop. He's Gary Carter. He's Fisk. He's Posey. You want that one guy who can be behind the plate and just direct the team, be the guy who stands up and points at people and stuff like that. I think catching for me would be the biggest thing I'd want to see. Everything else sort of kind of fits in a little bit, but the catching thing for me is still too much up in the air for me.
So do you think Joey Bart could be that guy?
I would hope so. I mean, he's better than anything else they got.
Right.
He just is. And I don't know what to tell you. You got to see him in the regular season. Again, this is down here. He looks terrific. He's working hard, but I'd start him. I would start him. I would. For me, he's the number one catcher, and I'd be doing everything I could to build him up.
I don't even remember. Last season was kind of a blur for me. I don't even remember, how did Bart end the season? Because he did
not
when he
good.
came back. Not good.
Not good. August was good. He came back and hit the ball. When he hits it, he hits it.
Yeah.
It's just he doesn't make enough contact, and it's in the strike zone. So they throw the ball past it. It's not that he chases and he can't see it. It's when the ball is right in on him, he swings through it, or he doesn't adjust in the strike zone. And that's what Kapler says. So I'm not savvy enough to tell you that from watching him truthfully, although I know he does swing and miss a lot and takes a lot of strikes. But that seems to be his offensive issue. But let him catch. He seems to be a decent catcher, isn't he? I don't know.
That's what it seems like to me too.
I mean,
who's better than him? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Is there anybody you saw who you'd say you want to put Perez back there? Not yet. Perez, to me, over his next 2 weeks, has a lot to prove to make this roster. He's got a lot to prove. Now, Dan says Wins is on a minor league deal, which is absolutely true. So you don't have to worry about his spot. But Perez is the guy. I mean, you're going to take a chance with him as the backup. I'd like to see him get a hit once in a while. I think looks like he's ready to play.
As you got in the elevator today, he hit an opposite field home run.
Did Perez hit a home run today?
Yeah, he did. Right as you left.
Very good. Okay. Very good.
Not an old one, but
I'm glad to hear that.
My feeling is on this catcher thing, and anytime the Giants are going to err on the side of who to pick, go with youth, because Perez is not going to be here in a year or two when this team, if it becomes.
He's not a starter, Dan. He's not. He's a backup.
Yeah.
The starter catches 5 days a week. He catches 1 day a week or 2 days a week. That's it. He's not. Perez is not here to be the guy. He's not. Right. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I would not think I'm going to see that.
Well, and if on that same note, what kind of offensive output would you be satisfied with Joey Bart if he plays really well behind the plate? Like I was thinking, like, would you be upset if the guy's hitting 190?
Oh,
but
yeah.
but let's say he has 40 home runs.
Oh,
Well, that's the thing. That's, again, you got to. What if he's hitting 190, but he's hit 17 line drive outs?
True.
So that you never know. You can't take the number in such a short picture and say, well, he's hitting 190 and and 52 at bats. It's not fair. But you can watch him, and if he's controlling the strike zone or the way he's swinging the bat. They know that. But would I be satisfied? I'd be satisfied with anything around 250, which means he's making contact. He makes hard contact. If he hits 250, he's going to have 17 home runs if he can do that. If he hits 180, he's going to have 8 home runs.
on that question of home runs, up there on the screen, MF asked, is Haniger a 30 homer guy?
Well, I don't know. Is he playing every day?
Yeah, he would be in the everyday lineup.
Well, I mean, is he healthy enough to go every day, and is he back? And
yeah.
I don't know. Is he a 30 homer guy? I hate to say it, but ask me in June.
Yeah.
You just don't know. You're asking a guy who hasn't played last year to come in and hit 30. If I had to bet, I would say no, because there's too much time he missed to come back in. He had the core injury. He was banged up pretty good. I would think him more in the 15 to 20 range. I would be satisfied with that. 30 would mean, wow, and the guy's all the way back.
As far as the team goes, I think Vegas has the Giants over under 80.5 or 81.5, right in there. If you were putting money down, what would you take?
I would take the 88. I would take.
Essentially, are they going to be a winning ball club or a losing ball club?
I think I would rather bet the Padres. What's their number?
Oh gosh, I have to.
It's
look
probably
that
pretty
up.
high. It's probably like 90 something.
Yeah, I'll bet the Padres. I mean, I'll save my money on the Giants. They look like a team that could have 83, 84 wins right now, I would say. So if I had to say, what do I bet on the Giants? I'd go over, but tepidly.
Okay.
Until I see it. Unfortunately, you don't have that luxury when you make a bet.
Yeah.
But I would say 83, 84, somewhere in that range. I think that's where they're at right now.
I mean, did you feel like, I know at least for us, coming off the 107, with the way the season started last year, we all kind of thought that this is, maybe they're not going to win the division because of the Dodgers, but like, this is still a playoff team that anything could happen.
Well, they were close. Come on, they were a playoff team until the last couple of weeks, the way it worked. I mean, Milwaukee couldn't win a game. Philly got swept. Then they got swept by the Cubs, remember?
Yeah.
The Giants are right in it because they were mopping up on Arizona and Colorado. Whoever they had at the end of the year, they had a very favorable.
Yeah, they just had so far to overcome because they were under, they got to where
they got buried in August.
Yeah, they got buried in August. And, I thought, and I don't know how you feel about this, when they came out of the break and lost 7 straight, they lost 4 in a row in LA, and then they lost the next 3 or whatever it was. They were 0-7, and they were playing the Dodgers at home, and Crawford was out. They had just made a trade to put in. They didn't have a backup shortstop, and I thought they should have traded Rodon for a high prospect. Yeah. And Farhan thought he had the right makeup to go the distance with these guys. And I just thought that was a mistake because we knew he was going to walk. He wasn't going to sign with the Giants. Yeah. And I didn't think they were a playoff team. And I thought they could have got a top 100 prospect for Rodon.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. They probably should have traded Bumgarner. They probably should have made all these moves, that they could have made with guys, Walker, Gausman, whatever. If they're convinced they're not going to sign these guys, you got to build with guys like you just described. Guys who are, top 100 guys and try to get someone like that. In hindsight, I would say you're absolutely right on Rodon. at the moment, we still had that hope that maybe something good could happen and you needed them. So San Francisco Giants don't throw in the towel. It's not their MO. It's not the way they were built. It's not the way they went through the Sabian years. They just don't throw in the towel. I think that's part of the franchise.
Well,
I
okay,
think that's what they do.
let's do a little chat cleanup. This was kind of funny. Hendrick says, NorCal Sports Network, live from Arizona.
That's us live.
He also says the great Marty Laurie. Okay, Eric from Beale Romo says one more good one. Marty, after watching approximately 2 weeks worth of spring training games, do you focus on the pitch clock much? I am probably on the wrong side of the clock debate. I just don't like it.
No, I don't really look at it. I'm waiting to see how it affects the ability during the season, whether it does affect the ability of a pitcher to concentrate in a key situation late in the game. Does it affect the hitter? I want to see, and again, it's small sample sizes, but right now, I don't know. Do you, Dan? Do you, Ryan? Do you watch the clock at all? I watch it a little bit, but honestly, it's not a negative distraction because I think the pitchers and the players are adjusting to it the best they can. You see very few violations, so I want to see how it plays during the season, though, when the big moments are on the line, and you're getting down to 1 or 2 seconds, and you got to rush a pitch. We'll hear those stories constantly.
Yeah, everyone's got to keep an eephus in the back pocket this year, I think. It's honestly, in a weird way, I kind of feel like it might be more of a distraction watching it on TV. At least just because like it's the clock, it's all just the presentation, the clock
on your face on TV.
So,
it's in your face all the time. This thing, you can look away, you can look at the picture, you can look down the line. You don't have to look at it. And once you get in the flow of the game, you really don't look at it, because they are delivering the ball well within the time frame. But you're right, Ryan. That's a good point. When you watch it on TV, they're going to be. I hope that maybe they won't do that. Maybe they won't show the clock. That this isn't pro football. Where you're breaking the huddle and you got 30 seconds to get the playoff. I hope they don't. I really do. That's a good point. Yeah. Good point.
Well, I don't know how much time you got. I know we just asked, about a half hour, and we've gone 35 minutes almost.
Yeah. Well, I do work, in the morning. I do work early.
And we got a longer drive than you, Marty. We got an hour's drive with traffic.
Yeah, but you show up at 11. I'm there at 8 o'clock.
Hey, I got there early the other day. I was
come on. Half the time you're not there, and then you show up at 11.
Roasted.
He's dogging me right now. Oh,
busted. He's busted is what we call him.
Oh, okay. You know what? This is where I'd like to maybe take these last few minutes. Okay, give me your honest review of Dan Cochimilio, the reporter Dan, because the guy. Yeah. It's his first time, but he's obviously been a Giants fan lifelong, and he's been putting in work for a good year now on the Krug show, and now he's with his own thing. So do you ever like kind of chuckle in your head at something he says, or are you guys in the rest? Are you in the rest of the big wigs kind of like this guy?
He's learning. Look, he's a very Dan, and this is a very good interrogator. He's a very good questioner, interviewer. Does a nice job. The biggest struggle for anybody who and we live in a new world where all sorts of people are credentialed. The biggest thing is, and I say this to Dan every single day, Dan, you're not a
fan.
What? Exactly. Yeah. You're not a fan. Yeah, you can't be a fan in this business. So the thing for Dan is to get rid of that fan hat, because he knows the game cold, and just ask questions that apply to the situation. And he's really adapting to that. It's not, I want to tell you something. It is not simple to walk into a major league scrum, as they call it, with the manager, with seasoned reporters, and try to ask questions that make sense. And that is not a simple thing to do. It took me a couple of years to even have the courage to do it. So I think Dan is doing a very, very good job, and he's losing that fan thing. And he's actually just thinking more as a reporter and giving the story as to what's going on. So, yeah, I think you're You're doing well, honestly.
Marty. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Remember, you're not a
Fan. That's right.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
can't be Dan the fan anymore.
No, you're not. You took on the job of being a reporter, and you got to report objectively as to what you see. You can't root. There's no rooting in this thing.
I start to like some of these guys, and I want.
I know, but there's a phrase. There's no cheering in the press box. That's the phrase. No, there's no cheering.
That goes along with no crying in baseball, right?
No cheering. Today, you almost jumped out of your chair when I was sitting with you today when something happened. Something good happened.
Oh, that was just because you and me.
Oh, you said don't send him. No, on the play at the plate, he screamed and stood up. Don't send him.
That's right.
Yeah,
Marty, I've got a funny anecdote for you. I'd just love to hear your thoughts on this with your, you and that, I know how you think, it's, you can't be a fan out there, but I noticed when I was doing stuff with the Niners with Larry this year. So we were in the press box for every game. And I thought this actually was a little bit refreshing and kind of cool. So at the end of the year, when all the reporters started coming in, all of a sudden, all of the Niners, Mexico, the Spanish broadcast, people started coming in. And I was talking to these girls, and I'm like, man, these girls have a lot of energy, and they're just messing around with me and talking with me after the game. And then all of a sudden, they kind of let it slip that, oh yeah, in Mexico, everyone cheers in the press box. So we were like, what's going on here? Then we figured out we got to go over to the Spanish speaking broadcast booth. And apparently in the Spanish speaking broadcast booth, even at the Niner games, Niner playoff games, they're all getting hammered and cheering and screaming. I thought that was just an interesting thing that it just doesn't,
it just culture. Look, you go to a soccer game in Italy or, in Europe, it's wild. And probably the broadcast reflects that culture. And our culture, we try to be a little more entertaining, and you try to be an entertaining broadcaster. The biggest challenge for me is to put on an entertaining show every Saturday and Sunday. And it's about the guests. It's not about me, but I want to entertain the listeners. So they say, yeah, gee, we can't wait to hear his show to see who he's going to have on and how that's going to go. But that's our culture. Another culture may be different, but you just can't. Now, look, football's different. I mean, I listen to Pop all the time and T-Rock and all this kind of stuff. And, they're very much pro 49er, but they're objective. And they will tell you when things go wrong. And especially the analyst, he's really good. He'll tell you when they make a mistake in the defense. So I think that's more our culture to do that. But I love the color. I'm going to try to go to Mexico and the United States on Sunday night at Chase Field. It's sold out. I'm credentialed, and I think I'm going to try to do that. And that game sold out in 15 minutes.
Oh, that'll be fun.
48,000 people, and 44,000 of them will be rooting for Mexico.
Yeah,
so
that's gonna be a wild atmosphere.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to do that on Sunday. I'll go out there about 3:00 or so.
That'll be fun. Before we let you go, you mentioned your show. Tell us what you got going this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend I'm on. We changed the clocks on Sunday, so it's 10 o'clock Pacific Saturday, and then for everyone in the Pacific zone, 11 o'clock will be on the same time on Sunday. Bruce Jenkins will be on with me. That's always a nice segment. Kerry Crowley, Walter Ica Balsetta interviewed the beat writer for the Mets from The Athletic, did a nice job with that. Andy Baggerly will open the show with me. As I said, Kerry will be on. So that's Saturday. And then Sunday, we've got the professor, Ron Wotus, Maria Guardado from MLB.com. I haven't had her on yet. I want to get her. She's got a lot of good opinions on the Giants. We've got Adam Copeland will be on that day. Logan Webb will be on. Austin Slater will be on. So, I've got a lot of action for the weekend. Yeah. It's a shorter show, hour and 45 minutes. But believe me, when Raph and I are done, we go, how did we ever do that? Because we try to squeeze everything in there.
Well, and because you have to deal with commercials also. That's what I think is so difficult.
God. We do.
Yeah.
Well, everybody get a chance to tune in to KMBR this weekend and listen to Marty and all those different guests. You got the whole. Sounds like you got the whole lineup of you. You didn't have Pavlovich in there.
He unfortunately he's part of the 95-7, or so he claims. So he can't come on KMBR. That's what he says, but we don't know don't know if that's true or not.
Nah, we're gonna have to do some investigating.
Yeah.
So okay, you know what? Let's go. We'll go out on this one. Eric from Beale, Romo 2001. Thanks for showing up for the live, Marty. Can never get enough of Marty baseball knowledge.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's great being down here. And as I say, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. You want to see action. You want to see the stroke and, watch the bit. Mania, hit 94, 95 yesterday. That was huge for me. Huge for me that he could do that. And Jelly today, that he was throwing 94, 95. He was pumping it pretty good today. So, but the scores mean nothing. It's just some of the individual performances. You like to see it, and you hope that it carries on to March and April.
Right. Well. Thanks.
All right. So you guys coming out tomorrow?
Yes.
What's that?
Yes.
What time are you going to be there tomorrow?
We'll be out there early. We'll be there before you, Marty.
I want to hear it. Give me a time. Go ahead.
We'll be there if I can get Ryan out of bed. We'll be here by, we'll be there by 8:20.
I'll take the over. I'll take the over on that.
Well, we're gonna have to hit the tailgate with the fans, so
I'll take the over, and you've got to put the time in when you sign in. You know that. So
yes. What time is what did they post the time for tomorrow? Is it 8:30?
I haven't seen it, but I assume it's 8:30. Yeah.
All right. We got to be there by 8:20.
Okay.
Good luck.
All right, Marty. We'll
All right, be well, guys. Always fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
The great Marty Laurie. Everybody.
All right.
That was great.
That was great. I love Marty. I love his perspective. I love how he dunked on us with our on a few things, but on what's our guys?
Sable?
Our Sable. Yeah, yeah. I don't care. Sable's a dog.
Yeah. We love us some Blake Sable. I want to see Blake Sable and Joey Bart. Nothing against wins.
Yes.
Nothing at all. I just love seeing fresh young guys that can hit the ball. And
I want a catcher who, when you were describing that player to someone who's never seen, when you're describing that player to an audience, you actually can come up with some tools or some things that they do really well instead of just repeating their name. That's when they're nothing. When you're like, well, Austin Wins, Austin Wins is wins is wins. It's that's about as good as you get with wins. He's not bad, but he's wins.
Well, we've got some interviews. We've got 3. We're going to be joining Larry's show at 8:00 you guys time, California, 9 o'clock down here. So that's another 14 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So what do we got?
Maybe we do just play. Why don't we play Lamont? Because that's our shortest one.
Yeah, we're going to play late night Lamont. We caught up with Lamont today and enjoy this one.
What?
This is fun.
Oh,
what do we got? Oh, we got to hit somehow. We got to hit the right buttons.
We got to hit the right buttons. Okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna. It's because I forgot to compress that thing down. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna play it and we're gonna share it because it is, and that way we'll give ourselves views.
Oh, okay.
Not that actually. Okay, here we go. Where is it? Video link. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Lamont Wade.
Willie Mack Award winner here.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. We're here with Giants first baseman and outfielder Lamont Wade Jr. Lamont, you played last night. You got the start against Team USA in right field. Are you going to be kind of doing both this year, or what's the plan? First base, outfield?
I think it's going to be mostly first base, but if I got to go to outfield, just to make sure that I'm ready, that's why I think we kind of did it last night. So just really wherever Cap tells me to go, I'll be ready to go.
Yeah. Now, did you play at first base at Maryland?
I did for 3 years, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really play the outfield till my junior year, like the second half. So I'm really comfortable at first base. I've been over there a lot and learned a lot from Brandon Belt when he was here. So definitely feel comfortable over there and looking forward to it.
Yeah, now you've been mostly playing, batting leadoff. Is that a position in the lineup that you're real comfortable with, or do you prefer a lower spot in the order?
No, I feel really comfortable with leading off. I feel like I've been leading off the last 2 years, so no, I feel comfortable with it. Feel fine with it, and like I said, wherever in the lineup, it's cool with me. But I do feel comfortable in the leadoff spot.
In 21. You hit a home run out in right field at Oracle over your mother's head.
Yeah.
Describe that feeling when you found out? I don't know. Did you know she was out there? Or?
No, I didn't know she was out there. She was just walking around.
She didn't give you a call while you were around in the base?
No, she's just walking around. She likes to walk around. She can't really sit still in her seat. She likes to mingle with people. So it just so happened that she was out there at the time I was up to bat, and she just stayed there. I hit it over there. I got a lot of people telling me that why did I put her seats in the outfield and stuff like that. But I think this year I might just put her out there if I can get that same result. So she might be sitting out there a little more often.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, last year you kind of broke camp. You had an issue with the knee. How's the knee feeling this year?
Yeah, knee's feeling great. Rehabbed it all season. Really got healthy. Coming in feeling great. Last year didn't feel so great with the knee. Had a lot of stuff going on with that. But this year putting it all behind me and feeling good and trying to stay healthy.
Was it just was it stuff like a meniscus, or was it just?
No, it was. It happened in spring training. Game 3 at Maryville, and piece of the kneecap broke off or whatever, and just had another thing going on in there that we couldn't get right. But luckily, this off season, we're able to just focus on it, rehab it every day. This off season, come back, come spring training, feel healthy, so it's good.
All right, Lamont. Okay, I know a lot of Giants fans. Obviously, everyone talks about late night Lamont. A lot of people talk about clutch. I'd love to hear your perspective, just because you had such an insane season, obviously, with all of the huge home runs. Like, do you believe in clutch? Do you think that you're clutch, or is it just like you're kind of just such a calm dude that you're able to handle this?
I feel like I just don't let the moment get too big. It's just another at bat, and it's just really just the team and the confidence, instilling confidence in me to go up there and produce. So you just go up there calm and relax, and you get it done. You get it done. If not, you'll be back in there tomorrow, and you have another crack at it tomorrow.
Do you feel like you're like in the zone, sort of in those situations, like the way you see like Steph Curry's, like all of a sudden he's cooking, he's hitting a bunch of threes, and you can tell he's just like in a different plane of reality.
Oh,
is that how you? That's how you feel in those situations?
You definitely get focused in more on those at bats. Lots on the line. It's a win or lose situation, so you definitely focus up a lot more in those situations and try and key in and really run off your plan to the best as you can. So you definitely feel focused in those at bats.
Awesome.
As describe to the listeners when you're hitting like you're hot, okay, versus when you're in a slump. Does the ball look different? The size?
You could say that. You could definitely say that. When everything's going well, you feel like you can hit any pitch, any location. When it's not going good, you feel like anywhere you're just susceptible to getting an out, and nothing's going right. But when things are going right, the ball does look a little bigger, and you're definitely excited to get it back up to the plate as fast as you can. But when you're slumping, you really hope that your placing line just skipped once or twice.
Yeah, I mean that's the way. I mean, baseball, when you think about it, it's a game of failure. You fail 70% of the time, you're going to make the Hall of Fame if you're successful 30% of the time. So with that in mind, when you're struggling, do you just kind of like just say, everybody goes through this. I'm a battler. I'm going to get back up there, and I'm going to be, I'm going to get through this thing.
That's a part of the game. Right? It's going to happen. But that's where you really trust and rely on your work. in your preparation and your process and your routine. So that's what you go back to and revert to, and hopefully you get back on track sooner rather than later. But yeah, you just know that that's one game. Tomorrow is a whole new game, 0 for 0, and go up there with a whole new mindset. You can turn it around in a heartbeat.
Describe the feeling of like, spring training. It's hope for the fans, and I feel like it's hope for the players too. Like the only thing I can think of is like I remember in college, I had a one really good quarter, and a not so good quarter, and then it was just kind of brutal down the end, and then it was like, okay, new classes. Yeah. All right, you know what? I'm gonna get A's in all these now.
Absolutely. You come into spring training, everybody's feeling good. Day one, you get to see everybody. You haven't seen them since last season, and then once the grind starts, you don't get a couple hits here and there. You start creeping a little bit, but then you just revert to it's a long season. We got a lot of way to go. It's only still March, so good things are going to keep coming.
I asked this of Blake Sable the other night. We were on our channel, NorCal Sports Network. We were talking to him. Baseball players, I played ball through high school and, had superstitions, if I got 2 hits in a row or something, maybe, like, oh, that was a good game. I'm not washing these socks. You got any superstitions?
That's mine right there. If I come to the park, I get a hit, I wear that same outfit that I wore the previous night until I don't get a hit in it.
No washing it?
No washing? No. I take it off as soon as I get home. I put it in one spot.
Stinky and everything, you just wear it again?
It doesn't matter. I'm wearing it back.
It smells like success.
And everything that I wore at the field that day, that jersey, the pants, the exact socks on what foot it was on, to a T. I'm doing the exact same thing.
We need you to get like 10 hits in a row, 3 straight games.
I'll be wearing the same clothes.
Come into the dugout the next game, players are like, yo, stay away from Lamont, man.
I'll be wearing the same thing for those 10 days.
That's awesome. Same thing with facial hair? Or?
Everything stays the same for as long as I get that hit.
Oh, wow. So you could look like, if you get really hot, you might look like Brebbia this year?
Maybe. That'd be a good thing. That would be a great thing. I hope I do look like Brebbia.
That would be awesome.
That would be.
Well, I was, do you have any more questions?
I think I'm good.
We'll let you go. Thank you so much for
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, Lamont, I'm Stephanie.
Thank you so much for
Thanks so much.
All right, where'd my mic go? I got to sitting here laughing at Lamont, thinking about the stinky socks and everything else that he wears, and then picturing him looking like Brebbia. That would be so cool. Wade's got this big long.
Well, now we have to root for him to like just go on a massive hitting streak because we'll all know how stanky he is. Oh, we never asked. We should have asked him if he showers.
I know. I was thinking that.
Oh, we might have to do a follow-up.
I guess if he did shower that day before he got hot, then it's part of the routine.
True. Fair. Yeah. You got to be if you're that superstitious, you got to be pretty careful about what you do during the day.
I wonder if you eat the same thing though. Like if you had a hamburger, or a salad, and you just keep eating the same thing. I don't know. I do that sometimes. I do some of the weirdest things as a fan, like if I'm watching a game, I don't know if anybody else does this, but let's say a guy is on the mound and, he's walking guys and I'm standing let's say I lifted my foot up like this, and I'm watching each pitch. I'll just put that foot back up in the same position until he keeps throwing balls, or I'll sit in a weird position and
See, I'm like, I notice it mostly like when I'm betting, but like if I bet like somebody and they're just getting killed, let's say the Warriors are getting killed or like the Niners or it's just going horrible. Mostly it's like stress, but like I'll just stand up and I'll just walk outside, take Ringo on a walk, basically. Like not look at anything for like 5 minutes and then check. And then if it's good, then I'll rush back. But I like doing that. Like, and then I'll just keep checking in until things start turning around. Then I'll head back in and then jinx it.
Yeah. So we also interviewed Elliot Ramos. That was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really good one.
It depends if Larry's going to be ready to go at 9. Do you think he will be, or?
Well, Why don't you filibuster? Let me check
Yeah.
my email and see if he's invited.
I
He hasn't
got the
invited.
invite.
Oh, you
I
did?
got an invite earlier, so we can go on my
Okay.
email and log in. But we can see what's going
Oh,
on.
oh! Here we go. Having pizza with the boys right now. Set stream to 9:30.
Oh, okay. So we got a half hour more before the Krug show starts. Pizza. What kind of pizza? I wonder you got.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, I got a pizza in the freezer. We could. Speaking of food tonight, my wife made. Oh gosh, they were so good. She marinated them overnight last night in some sweet barbecue sauce and some. I don't know what else was in there. I'd have to go check with her, but we had spare ribs. And corn on the cob. Oh man, they were so tender. Slow cooked them in the.
Don't say that, MF. Now I want ice cream
in the cooker for 7-8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got home. It was amazing. We call up. I said we'll be home. 5:30, just in time for the Warriors Memphis game. We walk in. It's like she's putting everything on the table for us. It's like unbelievable.
Your wife is the best.
I got an unbelievable wife. I am blessed.
I mean, I've really been able to take advantage of it because last time I was up here and then it's just like meals, and they're all just so good.
Oh yeah, she can cook, and she you know what is amazing about my wife is she not only loves to cook, she loves to serve and see us enjoying the food.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's not like, oh, here's your food. It's like, eat more. It's just great. I love my wife. What do we got coming here? Do we have
how about a little Ramos?
Oh yeah, Elliot Ramos is this is great. I didn't realize you were recording and
beforehand
before we actually like started. I'm always when I talk to the guys, it's like, you ready? They give me the ready, and then I turn it on. You actually got the camera rolling.
Yeah, just because I wanted to see those kicks. I wasn't sure if we were going to break them out again. See these sweet griffies you'll all see. But no, so I stopped that and then started another recording. Although I think the beginning of this recording, I made like a stupid joke about, because he was like, oh, do you want me to put some shorts on? Because he was in tights. I think I might have said that I was naked or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, you weren't allowed in there. Yeah. Anyway, this is Elliot Ramos. You're going to like.
Should I put shorts on? I got my leggings on.
You're fine.
Oh, you're good. I got.
All right, cool.
What do you waist up?
I'm naked too. So.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Here with Giants outfielder Elliot Ramos. Elliot, you got a chance last night to play against Team USA, and you mentioned you were rocking some Griffey Nike shoes. Did you get a chance to meet your idol Ken Griffey last night?
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, I didn't play last night. I wish I could, but I was in the cage hitting, practicing, and I didn't expect that. The Team USA just started coming in, and I saw Griffey coming in, and I was like, oh, I want to say hi to him. I want to shake his hand. Because the thing is, I saw him in the Fishers game in 2019, but I didn't really get the chance to talk to him, to interact with him. So yesterday, I just shook his hand, and I was like, hey, I just wanted to meet you, how you doing? And it was cool. It was cool to meet him.
Did you have the shoes last night, or you just get them this
morning?
morning?
I got them just now.
Oh, let's take them. Can we see them?
Oh, for sure.
These are so sick.
These are sick. Yes. Imagine if you had those last night, you could have had them sign them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look at
They're
those.
so clean, huh?
Oh my!
Are those? Do you know if Griffey are these retro? Or are they coming out with these, or is this a special Elliot Ramos?
I mean, no. I mean, everybody. I think Crawford has them. A couple of people have them. I think they're just coming back with them. Yeah.
Those are nice. Those are nice. Last week I was in. I had my orange and black Nike shoes, and I said to Craw, I said, hey, you're known for shoes. What do you think of my shoes? He looked down at him. He says, oh, pretty nice. He goes, I actually own a pair of those, but different color. He goes, I don't have that color scheme, but he says, I may have to look at that.
It was last time I was here, and he was like, I haven't worn these shoes. They're like just bright orange, just pretty loud for a 60-year-old man walking around. But I was like, dude, no, you gotta wear them. You gotta wear them. The boys will like it.
Yeah. So the other day I was watching you play. Let's see, who was it? Was it against? See, yesterday was Tuesday. Monday's game. You got a base hit, nice hit. I think it was your third at bat. Cincinnati, right, over in Goodyear. Yeah, nice, solid hit. How's the swing feeling this spring? I know you changed it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I've been feeling good. Honestly, like with JV this offseason, I worked like on knowing my body, knowing the swing, like knowing where I'm at. You know what I mean? Being more relaxed at the plate. So right now it's just a matter of like the mindset, you know what I mean? Just have a good mindset going up to the plate, just having the confidence to like know what I'm doing at the plate, you know what I mean? And that's about it.
Yeah. Are you? You mentioned Justin. Are you doing any work with Dustin?
Justin.
You doing anything with Dustin Lynn at all, or just work with Justin?
I work with Justin only.
Okay.
Dustin came like early January for the camp. And that's when we started working all together. I worked a little bit with JD Crawford. I was hitting with them in the offseason. Who else? Conforto.
Yeah.
Played with him for a little bit too. Great guys, yeah.
Yeah. So are you excited to watch the World Baseball Classic with Puerto Rico?
Oh yeah, my brother is playing over there.
Oh, your brother's
I
playing?
need to watch it, yeah.
Did you have a chance to maybe play for them and just
No, I decided to stay here.
work on?
Yeah, work on my stuff, work on myself. Yeah, I haven't been. I know last year wasn't the best year for me, so I kind of wanted to get my feet under like me, you know what I mean, and just feel better about myself here.
Yeah. So go ahead, Ray.
I was going to say that, that's awesome. And speaking of last year, one thing that like especially all the fans point to is like you came up and those like two hits you had. I don't
Third game against San Diego.
Yeah, against San Diego, and everything was like 110 miles an hour, like crazy hit. That's what everyone points to is the velocity off the bat. Do you know the highest velocity you've hit a ball?
Yeah, it was the other day in Chicago Cubs, the first game.
Yeah.
I had 115 down the line.
115.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the first one, yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you came up, you were drafted, I think, as 16, 17-year-old? 17, first round pick, and you were kind of known as a guy that's a 4 to 5 tool player, which, strong arm, bat speed, power,
Sweet shoes.
swing, everything. What would you say is in your opinion, is your greatest tool that you possess? As a
Power,
player?
honestly.
Power,
and I can move a little bit. I can run.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I can make some damage on the base.
Do you have goals at all, like someday to be like a 30-30 guy?
Yeah, for sure. This year, my plan is to steal 20. I want to steal 20 bags. Because I got into 15, but last year I didn't steal that many. But this year I want to steal like 20 and just stay on that path, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at least steal 20 every year.
Okay, how weird are the big bases? Does that change it?
Not that
change
bad,
it at all?
honestly. Nah, it's kind of like easier to cut them because you can like, because you got kind of like more room to step on the base.
Sure.
At the beginning it was a little weird because they were like more flat than the other ones. But now it's easier. Like you get used to it.
Is it softer, the bag, or is it still firm?
It's firm. It's just like flatter. Like you know how the ones before had like a little,
little
like,
hump in the middle, right?
So these ones are more flat.
Yeah, those ones with the old ones too. The hump is kind of slippery, aren't they? If you step in the middle of it, you can.
You can break your leg or something.
Yeah. Why don't they? Originally baseball came up with, it was kind of like a
pillow?
Yeah, like a pillow. Would
That's what I was saying, memory foam.
Yeah,
Memory foam, yeah.
Would that be better if it was a softer bag to slide into?
I don't think so. I mean, I think when you try to step on the bag, you get stuck. Yeah, you get stuck in it.
Oh,
so I
yeah,
think
with
these
your
ones are good
spikes.
because it's like kind of like rubber, maybe like rubber, right?
Yeah.
So it's easier to just step on it and just keep going.
Okay, so then back to the stolen bags. How do you think the pitch clock's going to affect that? Is it going to make it easier for you guys, or?
I don't really know. I have to see how the season goes on. Now everybody, the other day I was at the plate, and the pitcher was kind of playing with it. It was waiting until like 3 seconds to pitch.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, like I'm just gonna stay here forever waiting. You know what I mean? But it's a little tricky. We have to see as the season goes on. We have to see how it works.
I haven't seen the lineup today. Are you in the lineup today?
Yeah, I'm coming in second half for
Second.
Scotty. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So
yeah,
you'd be out in left or right field?
left.
Left. Okay.
Yeah.
I know I've asked this before. You love center too, don't you?
I love center.
Yeah.
That's mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love right field. I love playing right field too because it's easier to throw.
Yeah.
You don't have to like the mount in the middle or nothing like that.
What about? Are you already kind of used to the layout with the right field at Oracle? Because I know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It ain't. I mean, you have to let the ball do whatever it's gonna do. You know what I mean? Like if it bounces like somewhere weird, like I will have to play it off, like and try to like make a good play. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
When you were drafted and then coming up through the Giants system in low A and then moving up all the way up through, a lot of people, you heard comparisons, I'm sure, to Willie Mays, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, because you kind of have a similar yeah, not too fair. Yeah, how did that affect you? Was that like, I'm sure it was flattering, but did it put any pressure on you to feel like you had to perform?
Not really. I mean, we're way two completely different players. I think Willie Mays is a legend. Willie Mays is Willie Mays. And obviously, like, I'm playing in a different era, too. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, it feels nice to be compared to a legend, for sure, but I got my feet on the ground, and I think I can do a pretty good job, but we'll have to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is there anything in particular? I know you changed your swing a little bit, but that you're working on this spring as far as what you're looking for?
Well, mostly my back leg. A lot of times I don't rotate my back leg too much, and it's because my front leg, my stride is too long. So whenever, like, if I keep it short, it's easy for me to rotate. You know what I mean? If I don't keep it short, and I'm not in a good position, like, my leg won't rotate, and I just keep dragging it instead of like actually like using my backside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the most I'm working on, because I'm seeing every pitch good. The slider, fastballs, like everything. I'm seeing the pitch good, and I feel good. I feel comfortable at the plate. But it's just that, like, I have to give myself a chance by like rotating better. You know what I mean? My back leg, my backside.
Yeah. Now, how exciting was it for you? For a few days when the Giants signed fellow Puerto Rican Carlos Correa, was that something that was you were pretty excited to be like, hey, got a brother from your country?
I've never really met him, but I definitely wanted to meet him. I heard a lot of good things about him. I heard like he's like JB said, he's a baseball rat. Like, and I love that. I love talking baseball. I love like learning. I listen to anybody that has like something to say about baseball. You know what I mean? I talked with Bebo Perez, with Roberto. I always talk all the time about baseball, and he tells me, like, 9 years in big league, right? Like, can't beat that. I have to like listen to everything he has to say. So yeah, I definitely wanted to meet Correa and just see what he got to offer, for sure.
Yeah. So anything else you got, Rye? Or?
I think that's about it, dude. Thank you for giving us this much time. It's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
Good
Elliot.
luck, man.
All right. Good luck.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Elliot Ramos, everybody. You know what I loved about the part where he talked about stealing 20 bags?
Yes.
His goal was to steal 20 bags. We saw him steal second today. It was so cool to see a guy that is so athletic move. And then he attempted to steal third, and he would have had it. And every time that he was going, they foul tipped. Foul tipped it. I wanted to see him, well,
because also, didn't you kind of feel like we deserved a little bit of credit on just putting that in his subconscious?
Oh yeah, we talked about his tools, right?
Yeah.
You know what's his favorite tool, and he said, well, power was his favorite tool, right?
Which is awesome.
Yeah, gosh, you know what? I want to see Elliot Ramos. I want to see Joey Bart. I want to see David VR. I want to see Casey Schmidt. I want to see Vaughn Brown come up. I want to see these young guys.
Yes.
And if that means that the team is not performing, to where they need to be to make a playoff run, I want to see these young guys. And I don't mind going through a Houston Astros rebuild where they were losing 100 games for 2-3 years, and then all of a sudden these guys, best franchise in baseball since like 16, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been to 3 out of the last 4 World Series. A team that's in the NL or AL CS just almost every year. They're kind of like, the Chiefs right now in football, or the old Patriots. Build this thing up, but I don't know, if those guys are the guys. But we'll, have to find out. But, look at Baltimore. Baltimore stunk. And now they've had the number 1 draft pick for, right there near the number 1 for the last several years. And they're building something special in Baltimore.
You can sell me on hope. Mario Trutonic says, I don't want to see another 100-loss season. I don't think that there would be. I don't think there's any way they're going to lose 100, because I do agree with Marty.
I don't think they are this year, but I'm saying
even if they used like all the young guys and kind of sacrificed to win here or there, I think that it's just like their team's not that talented to the point that it could drop off that much. And so I would probably rather wait. And also, I did want to hit on this. Yadi says, I'm a big fan of Marty Laurie, but disagree with his advice for you guys to be a reporter and not a fan. You are interesting to listen to because you guys are fans. I think Dan and I are both on the same page as you, Yadi. You got to respect a man like Marty Laurie, but it's just a different. What we're doing is not reporting. We're
what we're trying to do really is bring a different aspect of the Giants to the fans.
Yeah.
Because we have been fans, and we're reporting, but we're never going to be Andrew Baggerly or Susan Slusser or Alex Pavlovich or Evan Weeback. That their job is to report, put it in print, write stories to the fans. What we're trying to do is bring the players in more of a light of where people get to see them, root for them, pull for them. And it's a little bit different type of media.
Yeah.
I think I agree with Marty 100% when we're around, especially with the manager, Kapler and stuff.
Yeah.
You can't act like a fan. You have to ask intelligent questions to and that goes with the players as well. But there's also a time where we try to make it a little lighthearted with the players, just because they get asked the same questions by, every reporter. And, frankly, a lot of the players we've talked to, we asked them off the record, what's one of the things you guys really dislike? And it's being kind of asked the same thing over and over again.
And it's like guys close down. I was telling Dan, before we did the Niners thing, I have one buddy that was in the NFL, and I was asking him, like, dude, like, what are like some things I can do so I'm like not annoying to the player? Because that's another thing is like I just like, so it's not that like I want to be liked so badly, although maybe a little bit, but I just don't want to be like the guy being a burden to the players with all these annoying, boring questions and forcing them to just kind of give, the cookie cutter answers. And I truly believe that if you kind of can just have more of like a conversation with the players, then all of a sudden, like, things kind of slip out, not in like a gotcha way, but like you kind of learn, you just talking about random stuff, you kind of pick up on things, you learn stuff. And yeah, I mean, I think that's why like the Pat McAfee show and things like that, or Barstool, have been really popular, because it's just like, oh, what a novel idea. You're talking to players just the same way you'd talk to like your buddies, or, so.
Yeah, why don't Buster, I think, wants to join the show. While we're still young and growing show, Buster can come on over.
Our producer, here. Buster.
Yeah, hey, Buster, buddy. You want to come in the middle of me and Rye and join the show?
Can you get him?
I can get him going, yeah.
Yeah, wait, tell him about how Giants win.
I got something for the channel this year. We're going to try it. I had a Giants hat for Buster, and are you picking me up?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, all of a sudden, I lost my hearing from my earbuds. We're gonna try something. I had a little Giants hat it's a dog hat, but something happened to it. I'm not sure if Buster ate the thing or just all of a sudden it just showed up or it just showed up missing. Does that make sense? Showed up missing.
Yeah, it just kind of showed up missing.
Showed up. So bring Buster. Let's put that back on us, and then we'll bring Buster in here. Okay, we're gonna bring Buster in the middle so he could come on. Hey, Buster, come on over here. Come on, buddy. Come on over here. Come on. Buster. Join the crowd. Say hello to everybody. Buster, sit. Sit. Okay. Sit. Say hello to everybody. You're on. Okay. You see yourself? Buddy? That's a good boy. That's a good boy. Oh, a good boy. Okay. You ready to do the Giants win? Huh? We're gonna see if we can get Buster to do the Giants win. Okay. So we'll get the let me get it ready. You know how who's the announcer for the Michael Kay? Everybody know Michael Kay of the Yankees? His big thing is when the Yankees win, Yankees win. Yankees win. So we're going to get one with the Giants that way, and every time the Giants win this year, we're going to get Buster to kind of get excited that the Giants won. So
Buster's allowed to be a fan.
Yeah, Buster is allowed to be a fan, and I'm not going to let Marty change that. That's right, Buster boy. That's right. Okay, so Rye, you go on, and I'll get this thing queued up, and we can get this going here. I may need to. Do I need to mute my mic while I'm doing for a sec while I get this going?
Sure.
You
can just flip that
it down. Okay.
All right. All right. I'll carry. Yeah. So Buster, for everyone out there, I saw a lot of Buster, a lot of Faith, but it hits different in person. Buster is a big boy. Buster is like an 100-pound lab. He was a little scary, honestly. He kind of scared me at first because he was barking. He's got a loud bark, as you can hear very soon. Yeah.
There we go. All right, Buster, you getting ready to do your thing. You getting ready to do your thing, Buster? We'll get you ready. Okay.
All right, here, you can use my mic.
Here, no, I'll just do this. I'll put it back on.
Okay. Buster, we went on a long walk, didn't we, Buster?
This unusual bedtime ice hack tonight.
Oh, the Buster. He kind of oinks sometimes like a pig. Oh, Buster. Yeah. Oh, and then Faith. I sleep with Faith at night. She's a stank one. She's definitely stanky.
Okay, here,
but in a good way. Okay, here.
Buster, the Giants win. The Giants win. Come on, Buster. The Giants win. The Giants win. Yes. Woo! Come on, Buster.
Let it out.
Let out, Buster. The Giants win.
The Giants win.
The Giants win, Buster. Come on. You give us one of your really good ones.
Give us a signature howl. I hope I didn't tire the howl out of him.
Come on, Buster. Come on. The Giants win.
Giants win.
The Giants win. Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job. That
Oh, good job, Buster.
away. Okay.
Good job.
So Buster has a career in the media, I think.
Yeah, he was a little nervous, but he came through. What a great producer. That's a big boy. Come on, Buster, don't eat your hat.
We'll get his hat on, and when he does that, we'll get a video of it.
Oh, Dan. Should try Buster on the O line for real. LOL.
Oh man.
Great content.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get Buster tape. I don't know how many times we'll get a chance if we do the Giants win.
Well, that's what Romo said. It's a shame there will only be 80 of those.
Can you imagine if that becomes the roar and all over the internet?
The Giants win. The Giants win.
Don't eat the mic, Buster. So anyway, so we played. Who else did we get today? Manaya.
Manaya.
Yeah, we could do that one another time. I don't know. We got
7 minutes. Well, you know what? Let's just play it. We can play Manaya. We can play Manaya, and then we'll close out. We'll close out. So
yeah,
we won't give a sign off. We're just gonna end here with Manaya.
Well, we'll give a we'll say goodbye, and then we'll send everybody over to the Krug show.
Yes. The Manaya one was good too. I think he might be like low-key, kind of a hippie. Well, just based off like his height. Well, you'll see. There's some good rattlesnake content. This one.
Yeah. All right. Here with Giants pitcher Sean Manaea, who was pitching last night against Team USA, 3 innings. How'd it feel last night getting a little bit more of a bigger crowd, a little different feeling than just a normal spring training game?
Yeah, it went great. It felt like a regular season game, and especially against that lineup, to do somewhat decent was pretty good.
Yeah, I noticed you were hitting about 94 with the fastball, and then your changeup. Does that the fact that you've been able to increase 3 to 5 miles per hour on your fastball, does that make your changeup even more effective, you think?
Yesterday it wasn't good at all. But yeah, that's the hope. Once I finally dial it in and figure that out. But I think it'll just play. Everything will just play up.
All right, Sean. So I'm hearing some murmurs. We had Blake Sable on our show. He said that Australia is potentially ducking the Samoan baseball team. You want to talk about that a little bit? Just the idea of how cool it is to be potentially pitcher catcher with a first Samoan tandem.
That'd be incredible. I don't think it's in this game. It's never happened, and there's not many of us. So to have a teammate and a catcher especially, and to have a battery like that would be incredible for culture and everybody. I think so. Really cool.
Yeah. Did you you pitched 2 innings last night? First with Joey behind the plate, and then you had 1 inning with Sable. Is there a difference when you're throwing to different catchers for a pitcher, or how does that go for you guys?
I think just like a pitcher is different from every other pitcher. I think there's different things that catchers do, different tendencies, different ways they set up. And, I think at the end of the day, these guys are all so good. It's just who you like behind their stuff like that.
Yeah. So you've got probably 3 more starts before the regular season? Are you pitching pretty much every 4th, 5th day right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're have you got any idea as far as rotation, the spot in the rotation you'll be in for the season?
Just worrying about my next start and where I'll slot up or where they want me, and just go out there and do my best.
Do you know how many pitches you ended up throwing last night? Or
I believe it was 52.
52?
All right. I think so. Something like that.
Okay, so next start would be, the goal would probably be go 60 plus then? Or?
Is that
Yeah, something like that. Just increase incrementally.
How long does it take for you to build up to where you feel like you can throw 100 pitches pretty comfortably?
I guess it depends on how the body's feeling, but I don't know, last year I felt like didn't take too long. I don't know, maybe a couple starts into the season, something like that.
Sean, so a little non-baseball question. How are you enjoying Scottsdale? Just what are you doing on your off days? I got to throw this out there also just because it's so insane. I was telling this guy on the way over, apparently there's a car service here that's like Uber, but it's just driverless cars. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've lived in Scottsdale for a while.
Oh, you're proud.
Yeah, I saw those cars come in, and yeah, I think like anybody, it's just crazy, and that's never really been seen before in the world, and maybe like Japan or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Being in a car with no driver and say where you want to go, like that's wild. But,
Where do you sit? You sit in the passenger seat, or you want to get in the driver's seat? Feel like just
I've never actually been in one. So.
Oh, you've never been in one?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking, we were talking about that on the way over today, and I said, man, I don't know if I'd want to get in one of those and without sitting in the driver's seat just in case.
Yeah, something happens. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been in one, but I feel like for the most part they're pretty safe. But yeah, I don't know.
And I promise we're not sponsored by that.
Yeah.
But as far as like Scott's, like you said, you've lived here a while. Like, what are some fun things that you like to do, or kind of just a chill Netflix inside kind of guy?
Yeah, I mean, mixture of both. I like going hiking. Not really doing that right now just because baseball, and I'd rather save up all the energy. But yeah, I mean, the hiking's great. So many good restaurants. Some cool things like the skydiving place or Top Golf or golfing. I'm not really like a huge golfer, but that's also another big thing.
Yeah.
You went to Top Golf with Blake on Monday, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been to that one myself. I live down here. So when you're hiking, I do some hiking as well, but I've been down here since 2004.
Okay.
I've seen 3 rattlesnakes. Have you seen any on the hiking trail at all?
No, unfortunately not. I've been really hoping to find one just to look at it. Yeah, I've never seen a rattlesnake out in the wild, but that'd be cool.
Just the thrill of like a little bit of danger.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully I like recognize it and like hear it before it, lunges at me. But yeah, I mean, nature's just so cool, and that's just one of nature's beautiful gifts,
Yeah, well, cool. You have anything else, Ryan?
I think that's about it.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for your time again, and again, best of luck to you in 23.
Thank you very much.
See ya.
All right. Awesome. Sean Manaea there you go. Hoping for big things out of him. I mean, his fastball, he's a guy's from Driveline added 4 to 5 miles per hour on his fastball. And he worked on his changeup. If he gets the fastball consistent in those low to mid 90s, and his changeup really, gets that down, that could be pretty sick combo.
Oh, absolutely. Also, do you see I kind of did him dirty with the thumbnail.
Oh yeah, remember when we stretched out?
Wait,
That's
let me show. Well, okay. Give me 1 second. And then Dan, could you forward me the email for the invite for?
Oh yeah.
For the
Krug show?
for the lair dog.
Yeah, so we're going to be moving over to the Krug show.
Oh, something called the Krug show.
Yeah. So you guys will which email? The R Smitty?
Yeah, R Smitty.
Where is it? Why is it not showing up in here? I got the
Smitty.Ryan.
Okay, hold on. Smitty.
I think you could send it to the Bay Area Sports Live one, actually.
Okay.
It's a little live on air, baby.
Yeah, we're just some technical. Smitty.Ryan. What is it? Here, go ahead and type it in there.
Oh, no.
Face ID. There we go.
All right. Smitty.Ryan. Okay, I guess I shouldn't say that out loud. At gmail.com. There we go. Boom.
All right, there we go.
All right.
So, hey, we're going to sign off here.
And
Graves is saying 10. Oh, because wait, how does time work? I never know when we're here. Graves said crew going on at 10:30 now.
hold on, let's take a look at Larry's thing. He told us
I don't know if I can filibuster for another hour. Krug show. Scheduled for 10:30 now.
oh, we got to get a bed, man.
Yeah.
Wait,
Come on, Mom.
upcoming.
Or else we're gonna get ripped by Marty.
Yeah, we got to be there by 8:20. He took the over.
He took the over. We got it. Okay, you know what? We'll film his reaction to us. Possibly.
Yeah, and we'll just sign in early.
Yeah, maybe even with like an
Crew
inaccurate
going
time.
on at 10:30. Well, we should invite Larry over on ours then. I mean, like.
Well, I assuming
Larry.
Should we give him
the pizza?
You know what? I'm gonna give him a call live on air and just really put him on blast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me or you?
No, I'll do it. I'll do it. Give me 1 second.
This could be fun.
Yeah, this could be fun.
You gonna tell him that he's on live, or you just gonna? You might have to.
Yeah, I will. You're on a recorded line.
We do the Alex.
Yeah. All right. Let me know if everyone can hear this.
I hear it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Hey there.
Hey, did you get the invite?
Yeah. Are you doing 9:30 or 10:30?
Well, I meant 9:30 Mountain Time. Like,
okay. So like right now.
Right.
Yeah, you change it to a 10:30.
8:30 Mountain Time or 9:30 Mountain Time, 8:30 Pacific Time.
Okay, cool.
Because you got it wrong. It's showing 10:30 Arizona time, which is 9:30. And by the way,
it is.
Yeah.
By the way,
you're actually live on the NorCal Sports now.
so
we're still going live. Graves said, "Oh, is it 10:30 now?" And then we were like, "Wait, we shouldn't end the show until we're sure." But now it's confirmed.
Wait a second. Let me edit that. So it is 9. It says scheduled start time 9:30 Pacific. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, you want to change it to
8:30.
8:30. Yeah. So all. So hey, all 4,312 in the stream. If you guys can move over to Larry's show to the Krug channel again, all 4,312 of you.
Oh yeah.
Now it's at 11. Yeah, 4,311. Okay. Okay. On that.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right. We'll hop on over.
We'll see you guys in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.